No name gets Americans arguing like Walmart. People once loved it passionately and then came to hate it just as deeply. But whether you love it or hate it, one fact is impossible to deny: Walmart is getting weaker in the very country where it was born. When Walmart first appeared, it spread like wildfire, overwhelmed every other store, and completely changed the way Americans shopped. But now more and more people are loudly posting anti-Walmart slogans and telling others not to shop there on social media. Walmart stores are losing customers, and the stores themselves are slowly disappearing from the map. So what happened? What made Americans turn their backs on this retail giant? Today, let's take a look at Walmart's sad story. From the tactics that cost it the trust of its customers to the way American shopping habits have changed. And we will look at retail around the world to understand why America has fallen behind. This is not just Walmart's story, it is a picture of an American retail industry that is looking increasingly bleak. How did Walmart swallow up American retail?
They chose to come here. And then when they put the other grocery store out of business, they want to close down and leave. I'm mad.
America's biggest mistake was not letting Walmart grow weak. It was letting Walmart become the most powerful force in retail. But at first, nobody saw that as a mistake. Honestly, if you lived in America during Walmart's explosive rise, you probably would have loved it too. Think back to what that felt like. You walked in just to buy milk, toilet paper, and a few things for dinner. But then your kids ran toward the toy section. The person with you stopped by electronics. You remembered that you were almost out of cold medicine, light bulbs, and dog food. No problem. Walmart had it all. That was the real appeal. It was not just low prices. Walmart put an entire family's life under one roof. Groceries, clothes, gardening supplies, repair tools, medicine, school supplies, birthday gifts, VHS tapes, video games, even a photo counter and a food court. One trip, one parking lot, one receipt, and Americans loved it. This was not just something a few families felt. In 1980, Walmart had 276 stores and brought in $1 billion in annual revenue. The first supercenter opened in 1988, combining a grocery store with general merchandise. Just 2 years later, Walmart had become America's #1 retailer. By then, Walmart was no longer just a successful store chain. It was changing the way the entire country organized everyday life. There is something people often overlook: Walmart did not explode just because Americans were poor. For many middle-class families at the time, jobs were still stable, income was easier to predict, and housing costs and basic necessities had not yet swallowed most of their paychecks. They had cars, suburban homes, and money left over after paying the bills. They were not so broke that they had to chase the absolute cheapest option. What they lacked was time. Walmart sold them something even more attractive than a discounted product: everything in one place. Instead of running to 5 different stores, they could get everything done in 1 hour. The money they saved could go toward an extra toy for the kids' dinner out or a weekend trip. The problem was that convenience was never free. The local grocery store closed, Walmart still sold food. The drugstore disappeared, Walmart had a pharmacy. The hardware store could not survive, Walmart sold tools too. Every time a small business disappeared, people felt like they had not really lost anything. Walmart had already replaced what it did. That is how convenience quietly turned into dependence. Walmart was like an invasive species that weakened the native ones, and the worst part is that we allowed it to happen. Americans thought they were getting everything in one store. They did not realize that very soon, in many places, it would be the only store left. Why did Americans start hating Walmart? Just open TikTok, Reddit, or Facebook, and you will see person after person saying the same thing: I hate having to go into Walmart. And the truth is, in some places, Walmart really is getting emptier. 30 years ago, people talked about Walmart with excitement. They talked about some unexpected item they found, the toy section their kids loved, or a weekend shopping trip with the whole family. Now a lot of people talk about Walmart like it is a chore they just need to get over with. They still go, they just do not want to stay. Back then, you could push your cart through section after section just to see what was new. Today, a lot of shoppers walk in with a short list, grab groceries, medicine, or a few essentials, and head straight for the door. Walmart is still a place where people buy things. It is no longer a place where they want to spend the afternoon. And this shift does not exist only in social media posts. According to a UCLA report citing ACSI data, Walmart ranked second among department stores in customer satisfaction in 1995. By 2013, Walmart had fallen to the bottom. By 2026, things had improved, but Walmart still had not regained its old position. Among superstores, Walmart scored 76 points in customer satisfaction behind Fred Meyer and even Target. One of the biggest brands in America was still being beaten by smaller rivals in the way customers felt about it. I think that is the number that really matters. Walmart does not lack size. What Walmart has lost is the feeling that once made Americans love it. And to be fair, Walmart still brought in about $483 billion in revenue in the United States alone during fiscal year 2026. But revenue only records how much money customers leave behind. It does not record how they feel when they walk out. Someone can spend more than $100 at Walmart and still tell themselves they will try somewhere else next time. Americans have not abandoned Walmart, they are just falling out of love with it. The question is, what changed their feelings so dramatically? The answer starts with Amazon COVID and the way American shopping slowly moved onto screens. Amazon and COVID changed the rules forever. It would be a mistake to talk about why Walmart and the retail industry grew weaker without mentioning the rise of Amazon and COVID. And honestly, Walmart had almost no way to hold on to its old advantage. No matter how big a store is or how much merchandise it carries, it is hard to beat lying on the couch, opening your phone, and ordering something in under 1 minute. Do not get it wrong, this was not just a fight between Walmart and Amazon. The entire American retail industry was built around one very simple habit: people had to leave the house to shop. They drove to the mall, stopped at a department store, walked through electronics, and then went into a bookstore. They came for one item, but often walked out with 3 more. The distance from the parking lot to the checkout counter created millions of unplanned purchases. Amazon did not just take the order, it took the whole trip, the time spent wandering around the store, and all the extra things people used to pick up along the way. Walmart once made 5 stores unnecessary. Amazon took it one step further and made Walmart itself a trip people could skip. Then smartphones pushed it even further. You no longer wait until the weekend to go shopping. You see a shirt on TikTok and order it right away. You buy toilet paper while lying in bed. You order a charging cable during your lunch break. Shopping is no longer a separate activity. It slips into every little opening in your day. And once that habit took hold, lower prices alone were not enough to bring people back into stores. I do not believe COVID was the only culprit. A lot of retail chains were already weak before 2020, but it would also be dishonest to deny the impact of COVID. In just a few months, millions of people who had been hesitant to get groceries delivered, order through an app, or pick up outside in the parking lot were forced to try it. Older people learned how to order too. Families that had never used curbside pickup started seeing it as normal. And when stores opened again, a lot of people already knew they did not have to go inside anymore. Walmart did not sit still and let Amazon take its customers. It had enough money, enough stores, and enough distribution power to catch up fast. Stores were used to fill online orders, deliver to homes, and bring purchases straight out to people's cars. But the price of survival was that Walmart had to become more like the very rival that had made it less appealing. A lot of other chains never had that chance. Walmart had billions of dollars to build apps and delivery systems. A family-owned store sometimes only had enough money to cover next month's rent. Sears, JCPenney, mid-range malls, and thousands of small stores still had to pay for electricity workers and space while customer traffic kept falling. But I am not going to pretend that Amazon and COVID explain everything. They explain why Americans changed where they shop. They do not explain why shopping carts keep getting smaller. And this is the real reason nobody wants to say out loud. A lot of people are not buying less because they like Amazon more than Walmart. They are buying less because after rent, insurance, utilities, food, and debt, there is almost nothing left to spend. The painful truth. Americans have no money left to spend. Let's stop pretending Americans are simply moving from Walmart to Amazon. A lot of people are not changing where they shop, they just do not have enough money to buy the way they used to. Your paycheck comes in and you immediately have to send out the rent or mortgage payment. Then comes the car payment, insurance, electricity, water, internet, phone bill, and credit cards. You may not have even stepped inside Walmart yet, and most of your monthly pay is already gone. Then you still need gas to get to work, medicine, food, and at that point you open your banking app right there in the Walmart parking lot to figure out how much you are allowed to spend today. Not how much you want to spend, how much you are allowed to spend and still have enough gas money to make it to your next paycheck. People love telling American families to spend more responsibly, but I have to ask, what exactly are they supposed to cut rent? Their parents' medicine, car insurance, or the only car that gets them to work every morning. This is not just happening to unemployed people. It is happening to families where 2 people are working. To nurses, factory workers, drivers, office employees, and retirees living on Social Security. They still have jobs, they still have cars, some still own homes they bought years ago. From the outside, their lives look fine. But everything is only fine as long as the car does not break down, the kids do not get sick, and the insurance company does not send another bill. They are not poor in the way people usually imagine. They just cannot afford for anything else to go wrong. You spend 3 months saving $800. Then the car breaks down. In one afternoon, all that money is gone. The next month, you start over at 0. And that is why Walmart does not mean the same thing today that it did back then. In the past, you went to Walmart, so you would not have to go to several different places. You still had money. You just did not want to spend the whole afternoon driving to 5 different stores. Now some people have to go to Walmart, Aldi, and Dollar General in the same week because each place only has a few things that cost less. You are not saving time anymore. You are trading time to save money. To understand how a family is really doing, look at what they leave on the shelf. A package of meat, a box of cereal the kids like, a new pair of shoes, a birthday gift. Those things are not left behind because people no longer need them. They are left behind because the total went over what they could afford. Reports may say Americans are still spending a lot, but when prices rise, a family can spend more money and still bring home less. What bothers me most is that these people are also being made to feel ashamed. They are still working, still paying the bills, still cutting almost everything they can cut, and then they are told they just need to manage their money better. When every dollar matters, shoppers start checking every price tag, every ounce, and every line on the receipt. That is when the fear of not having enough money turns into something else: suspicion. When low prices become a trap for shoppers. Imagine picking up a package of ham and noticing that it feels strangely light. You check the label, 5.34 pounds. You take it over to the produce scale right there inside Walmart. The screen says 2.24 pounds. You look back at the label, then back at the scale. The difference is not just a few ounces, it is almost 3 pounds. That is what TikToker James Riggs says he discovered. At $4.98 per pound, a shopper could be overcharged by more than $15. Not because the meat costs more, but because nearly 3 pounds of meat they were charged for did not appear to be in the package at all. Riggs says he kept finding products with similar problems at 3 Walmart stores. For someone with money to spare, $15 is an annoyance. For someone counting every meal, that could mean milk, eggs, and bread for several days. And from the moment customers have to use a Walmart scale to check the very product Walmart is selling them, they will never look at a label the same way again. What makes this even more frustrating is that this is not the first time Walmart has faced questions about how much customers pay and how much they actually get. In 2024, Walmart agreed to pay $45 million to settle a class action lawsuit. The lawsuit claimed that shoppers who bought certain meat, seafood, and fruit sold by weight paid more than the lowest advertised price. Walmart denied any wrongdoing, but still chose to settle. Just 1 year later, Walmart agreed to pay more than $5.6 million to resolve a consumer protection case in California. This complaint mentioned checkout prices that were higher than the listed prices and certain products that weighed less than what the labels claimed. Under the agreement, Walmart was also required to assign employees to check the accuracy of prices and weights at its California stores. Once you might call it a mistake, but when the same concern keeps coming back year after year, you start saving the receipt instead of crumpling it up and stuffing it into your pocket. And Walmart is not the only company making shoppers stay on guard. When we look across the retail industry, we see another way customers end up paying more without noticing right away. You buy the same familiar box of cereal. The price is almost the same. The box looks almost the same too. But the bag inside is smaller, the roll of paper is thinner, the snack bag is lighter, the ice cream container is not as full as it used to be. That is shrinkflation. Companies do not necessarily raise the number on the price tag. They just give you less. The GAO says small packaging changes can be hard to notice, and consumers often react less strongly to a size reduction than they do to an equivalent price increase. Then there are member prices, app prices, rollback prices, clearance prices, shelf prices, and the price that shows up when the item is scanned. You have to calculate the price per ounce. Take a picture of the label, check every line on the receipt, sometimes just to get back $1 or $2. I understand that ingredients cost more. I understand that wages, shipping, and electricity have all gone up. If companies need to raise prices, then put the new price right there and let shoppers decide for themselves. But do not keep the box looking almost the same, take some of the product out, and hope customers do not notice. And definitely do not print a weight that customers may not actually be getting. How many people have ever weighed their package of meat again? How many people noticed that the checkout price was different from the shelf price but did not go back because the difference was only $1 or $2? And maybe that is exactly how they make hundreds of billions of dollars every year through little tricks like these. So are these just mistakes we happen to catch, or have they been happening for a long time and nobody ever thought to put the product back on a scale before? And why do American shoppers have to stay this alert inside the very store that once promised to help them save money to answer that we have to look beyond America? Why are stores in other countries still full of customers? If online shopping is guaranteed to kill physical stores, then why are malls in so many countries still crowded, and why are convenience stores still opening everywhere? For years, we have been given a very simple explanation. Amazon showed up, people started ordering online, and stores closed. But the more I look outside America, the more ridiculous that explanation seems. Or to be more accurate, the more it feels like an excuse. The truth is, people still like going out. They still like seeing products with their own eyes, meeting friends, and spending time somewhere pleasant. Maybe they are not tired of stores. Maybe they are just tired of stores that are no longer worth visiting. Do you doubt what I am saying? Take a look at France. When a product gets smaller while the price stays the same or goes up medium and large, supermarkets have to notify customers. Shoppers are told how much the quantity has gone down and how much the price by weight has increased. They do not have to stand in the middle of an aisle trying to remember how much that box of cereal weighed last year. What frustrates me is that this is not difficult. Companies know exactly how much they took out. They have the data, the machinery, and the production records. So why are American customers expected to figure it out for themselves? Now look at Japan. Convenience stores there do not just sell fast food and drinks. People can also withdraw money, pay bills, print documents, and pick up packages. A small store close to home helps them take care of several things in one trip. I like the way they understand something very basic. If you want people to walk into a store, help them do something they actually need to do. Meanwhile, many American stores cut staff-lock products behind glass and make customers search for someone to unlock them. Then customers scan their own items, bag their own purchases, and check their own receipts to make sure everything is right. Then look at malls in the Philippines. Many families go there for more than shopping. They eat, meet friends, bring their children to play, and spend a few hours together. The mall becomes part of social life, not just a building filled with stores. Research in Manila has also documented the social and gathering role of these spaces. America seems to have forgotten that if a mall is filled with empty stores, cold lighting, a depressing food court, and a massive parking lot, why should a family drive there? And this is what frustrates me most. The American retail industry has spent years cutting away the very things that made customers want to come back. Fewer employees, fewer people to ask for help, more products locked up, more self-checkout stations. Customers have to find the products themselves, call someone to unlock a case scan, everything bag everything, and then check the prices. After that, when customers stay home and order on their phones, corporations blame Amazon. You cannot turn a shopping trip into an unpaid work shift and then act surprised when people find ways to avoid it. So did Amazon really kill American stores? Or did Amazon simply give people an escape from a shopping experience that corporations themselves made worse? When I look around the world, I still see people walking into stores. When prices are clear, services are useful, and the space is pleasant enough to make them want to stay. American retail still has a way to survive, but not by cutting more employees, locking up more products, and waiting for customers to come back because they miss the old days. To save stores, you first have to give people a real reason to walk inside. Walmart has to do these things to bring customers back. I have spent a lot of time inside Walmart. I used to walk in without a list. I would go aisle by aisle, look through electronics, stop by groceries, check out a few household items, and usually leave with more than I planned to buy. So I do not want Walmart to disappear. I do not want local stores, malls, or the American retail industry to disappear either. I want them to survive. But to survive, they have to change. The first thing Walmart needs to do is bring clarity back to pricing. The shelf price has to match the checkout price. App prices, member prices, and in-store prices have to be easy to understand. Products that have gotten smaller need to be clearly labeled. If the weight is wrong, the store should catch it before the customer does. If someone is overcharged, getting a refund should be quick and simple. A low price that customers have to photograph, recalculate, and check 3 times is not really a low price anymore. It just costs customers time and trust. Walmart built its name on the promise of helping Americans save money. Now it has to prove that promise on every price tag and every receipt. The next step is bringing people back into the store. I'm not against self-checkout, I just do not want it to become the only option. I do not want to walk all over the store looking for an employee to unlock a case. And I do not want to scan everything myself, bag everything myself, fix errors myself, and then go find someone for help when the machine gets something wrong. And if Walmart wants good service, it has to invest in its employees. You cannot create a pleasant store with an exhausted workforce. When employees are treated well, customers are more likely to be treated well too. Walmart also needs to become more useful to the communities around it. Instead of just selling products, stores could help people pick up and return packages, access health services, repair simple items, buy local products, or sit down and rest in a clean and safe space. Walmart also has one enormous advantage. Thousands of stores are located close to where people live. Use them to provide faster delivery, easier returns, and a chance for customers to inspect a product before buying it. A store should not become a warehouse where customers are treated like obstacles. It needs to combine the speed of online shopping with the peace of mind that comes from seeing a product with your own eyes. I do not need Walmart to go back to 1995. I want a Walmart that fits the way people live today. Only change can make that happen. Do you still recognize the Walmart of today as the Walmart we once loved? Maybe everything has to change eventually, but what worries me most is that after all those changes, profit is still the only thing corporations ultimately care about. When profit is placed above real value, above employees, and above customer trust, the stores may stay open, but the reason people once loved them will slowly disappear. What do you think? Can Walmart change? What does American retail need to do to grow without continuing to push customers away? And more importantly, how will you vote with your wallet? Will you keep shopping at Walmart, switch to another store, or buy only what you truly need? Do not hesitate to share your story and your thoughts below. This channel was created to listen to the voices of people living through these changes firsthand. I value every opinion even when we do not completely agree. When enough voices stand together, we can create enough pressure to force real change. Subscribe to the channel so we can keep this conversation going.